Good morning, first grade friends. This morning we are going to start with our Pledge of Allegiance. It's Mrs. Bryan here again for our daily lesson. Join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now let's do our at-home pledge. At home, I will be respectful, responsible, and safe. Today is Tuesday, March 24th. We haven't really been talking about the date, but hopefully you're looking on the calendar at your house so you can keep track of what days they are. Today, we are going to talk about characters again. Yesterday, we had a great character in Fox and all his friends. But today, I want you to think about the Toy Story movies. I think everybody's seen the Toy Story movies. Well, when I watched that movie, I learned so much about Woody. But is he the only star of that movie? Of course not. There's Andy and Rex and Mr. Potato Head, and of course Buzz Lightyear. When you watch Toy Story, you don't just meet Woody. You meet all the others too. And you'll never really know Woody without also learning about his friends. After all, who's Winnie the Pooh without Piglet, or Shrek without Donkey, or Princess Anna without Elsa? We just watched Frozen 2 last night. Elsa and also Olaf. Today I want to teach you that readers don't just know the character who is the star of the story. They get to know the other characters too. When you learn about the other characters, you end up knowing the main character even better. Well, we're going to read a story called Maggie Moon today. This reminds me of another story. Maybe you'll know it when we read this. Maggie Moon is written by Elizabeth Baguli and illustrated by Gregory Maybeer. This is another Scholastic published book that I am permitted to read to you. That gives us an idea of what might start to happen here. Digger and Tiger spent all their time in the yard. Nothing grew there but piles of dented things, empty things, worn out things. No one else dared come to the yard. It was their place. Digger and Tiger were rough and tumble boys, spiky-haired, hole-at-the-knee boys. They were not brothers, but they went together like a garbage can and its lid. One day, a girl arrived. She walked through the high gate and clicked it shut behind her. She stared at the tangled rubble and the king of the castle boys. The boys stared back at her. "I'm Maggie Moon," said the girl. "Can I play with you?" "We don't play with girls," snarled Tiger. "Girls don't know how to play," hissed Digger. "Oh, don't they?" said Maggie, laughing. I think she's going to show them a lesson or two. Maggie left the boys standing in the shadows and went to explore. The yard was a mess and the boys were unfriendly, but Maggie had ideas. She picked up some of the trash and began to arrange it. A tin here and a pipe there until, "It's a racing car," said Tiger. "You can drive it if you want," offered Maggie. "Not likely," said Digger. But watch what happens. But as soon as Maggie left, the boys jumped into the car and raced away until dark. The next day, Maggie came to the yard again. Digger and Tiger watched her picking over the junk. "Come on, build something," ordered Tiger. So Maggie made a ship. When it was finished, the boys played pirates. "Can I come aboard?" she asked. "I suppose you could be the cook," said Tiger. It's not very nice. She was the one who built it. I'd rather be your lookout, said Maggie. She spit on her hands and shot up the rigging and shouted, "Ship in view!" Startled, the boys raised their binoculars. "Aye, aye, shipmate," they said. By the third day, the car was mangled and the ship wrecked. "Let's kick cans," said Tiger. "I'd rather throw stones," whined Digger. "That's boring," said Maggie. "Why don't we make a den?" She found wall things and roof things, and the boys crammed and jammed them into a corner. They played until dark when the bed calls came. Every day, Maggie thought of something different. They crossed a snake pit, shivered through a haunted castle, lurched around a roller coaster. "She's not bad for a girl," Digger admitted to Tiger secretly. Then one day, Maggie announced, "I'm going home tomorrow." The boys gazed at the yard. They remembered how, before Maggie came, the rubble was just rubble. "But what will we play?" wailed Digger. "I've brought you a goodbye present. You can play with that." Maggie wheeled in a towering load and toppled it in front of them. "Space explorers at the ready," she commanded, then marched out through the gate, clicking it shut behind her. "Aye, aye, Captain," Digger and Tiger saluted, but Maggie had gone. The sound of the closing gate echoed through the yard. The boys stared emptily after Maggie. At last they inched toward her present pile. The heap of rubble was just a porthole here, a jet there. The boys looked at each other. They had ideas. "Space explorers," barked Digger. "At the ready," shouted Tiger. By dusk, smooth things and crumpled things, shattered things and battered things spiraled high above the yard fence. With spaceships on, the astronauts climbed into With spacesuits on, the astronauts climbed into the rocket. "Blast off," they chorused. Digger and Tiger roared and rumbled away from the yard, over the city, zooming into space, in search of their lost captain, Maggie Moon. And there's the empty yard. That was a fun story, and we had really fun characters in Maggie Moon. Digger and Tiger were just in the yard, and they didn't have any imagination at all until Maggie came and taught them what their imagination can be. All three of our characters are pretty important in this story, and we can see that the characters changed a little bit. Those boys really didn't want to play with Maggie Moon at the beginning, but as the time went on, they felt like they were going to miss Maggie when she was gone, and they did. But since she had left them that present pile, they got to use their imaginations to make spaceships. Sounds like a fun idea. If you have some boxes around home, maybe you could make a spaceship or make something fun like that. We've read a story about Henry and Mudge and the castle, the weekend that they made the castle. Maybe you want to do something like that. Now, it's your turn. It's your turn to be sure to pay extra attention to the relationships your main character has with all the other characters. Notice what they say to each other and the things that they do, and get to know both characters, all the characters, even better. Well, that's it for today, except we have a riddle. My riddle today is, what do you call an elephant at the North Pole? Lost. We would never find an elephant on the North Pole. Hey friends, stay safe. Make sure you're washing those hands. Make sure you're staying inside if you need to, but get outside and play. Fresh air is great for us right now. I'll see you tomorrow.